welcome to Metal Wani. Vitek here with one and only Ville from Moonsorrow. How are you doing, Ville?
I'm doing just great. I just came from the rehearsal a while ago.
Hmm.
We're practicing for our tour in China.
Awesome. And when does the tour start, by the way?
That starts in wait, it's 1st of March, and we have
Oh.
five shows. Yeah.
Also, The Age of Gods, aka Jumalten Aika, will also be out on 1st April. We still have a lot of time for that. And I'm very sure that that entire band will be stoked, excited for this release, isn't it?
We are all really excited about this. It took us a long time to actually finish the album,
Hmm.
and it took its toll on all of us mentally and physically. But we are like we couldn't be more happy right now.
Absolutely, man. And I was just wondering why it took 5 years. I mean, the album came out previous in 2011, and now here we are in 2016. Why such a long time?
Um, Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
No, seriously. We actually started in 2012
Hmm.
to write new material, but at some point we realized that the stuff we had written wasn't actually going to the direction we wanted to go. So we
Hmm.
just had to clean the table and start figuring out what is actually the album that we want to make.
Right.
And we only realized in 2014.
Wow. So it ideally took you 2 years to basically, figure out what's the direction because it has to come within you guys that you should feel the music you've written, and if it's not felt, then obviously there's no point releasing it.
Yeah, exactly, because always have to make an album that is, in your opinion, is better than the previous one.
Hmm.
And not only that, it also has to fit the philosophy
Right.
of the band at that certain time. So, yeah, I think we were circling around uh, some wrong ideas.
Hmm.
We made music that sounded good, but it didn't sound like Moonsorrow should sound in 2016.
Right, right. Well, I can totally understand, but it's good to see that the album will be out soon. Unfortunately, we are yet to get the copy to listen to, which I'm really excited to have a shot at the album. But I'm pretty much confident about that. This is definitely is going to be one of your best effort because you guys never compromise in terms of quality of music. Like you said, I mean, 5 years of writing music, recreating it until you feel is the best you can give to your fans. So I'm sure while writing, you would have kept the fan expectations and also the quality factor in mind.
Yeah, we were never really concerned about the pressure from outside. We know that our fans are they're very patient and extremely loyal, and we cannot be anything but grateful for that. But also, the record label, the management, no one actually pushed us. They
Hmm.
just said that we're gonna wait because we know that it's gonna be good.
Nice.
So I'm really happy. Like the whole band is really happy with the situation. We actually we got the piece to actually find the right direction.
Awesome, man. Good to hear that. And the title itself, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Jumalten Aika?
Jumalten Aika. Yeah,
Jumalten
you were
Aika.
pretty close.
Yeah, so that's the age of gods. Now, what signify? I mean, what's the meaning behind this title? And I'm very sure that this is a concept album, isn't it?
Well, it's a loose theme album.
Hmm.
It's not concept album in the sense that it's not one story that goes from the beginning to the end.
Okay.
That's actually what we wanted to avoid. Uh, but the Age of Gods is basically it refers to the time when people started to uh, come up with belief systems to explain the world around them,
Hmm.
and they created the gods to symbolize different things in nature, and they wrote down that they were created by the gods,
Right.
that they actually created themselves.
Right, right. Totally get that. It's a great format because your previous album felt more like a soundtrack to me because the songs those were written and the soundtrack kind of made it complement the story, which was very interesting, which can basically spiritually influence you as a person. So on this album, The Age of Gods, is this the same approach in terms of like making this album like a soundtrack of your loose theme, which you want your fans to understand?
Yeah, that's the approach we always have. My cousin Henry, who is writing most of the music,
Hmm.
and I, who am writing the lyrics, we have constant discussions about like what is the other gonna do.
Right.
So when I write the lyrics, I know what he's gonna do musically, and the other way around. So we can make sure that we make a package that really sounds like the stories, and the soundtrack feel goes with it because Henry wants to. He always wanted to create movies without picture.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And also, you guys, I saw the track list. There are three epic long pieces. The reason I'm mentioning epic long piece because you guys were, didn't have this habit of writing the long ones, but few albums ago you wrote two pieces which actually stood out because probably you might want to challenge your fans and also yourselves to listen to it and not take the easiest route, isn't it?
Yeah, we never wanted to take the easiest route, and basically the songs are so long because they are stories,
Yeah.
and we after writing like 5 minutes of music, we already know that the song isn't ready yet,
Hmm.
and I wouldn't mystify it too much, but it is kind of that the songs tell us when they are ready. So
Right.
we just have to wait until the song tells that now I'm finished. And we did try to actually write a shorter song for this album.
Hmm.
And in the Moonsorrow context, we achieved that goal because the shortest song is only 7 minutes.
Right. I can imagine that because when you're spiritually and also in terms of creatively very open, very diverse, think these things do come up where the song goes, gets better, takes different shapes and basically evolves, and then at the end you find 15 minutes. So that's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm really grateful that we do have a lot of fans that actually understand the whole thing,
Hmm.
and they like during these modern days we actually do have people who have the patience to listen to a half an hour song, for example.
Right. Awesome, man. That's wonderful. And one thing which I really feel about you is how you spiritually and also in terms of working so hard, the music reflects. Now I've seen these folk metal bands who have this happy and sort of a danceable vibe, but you guys have that sort of it's a varying level of belief which you guys put forward, be it in the form of inspiration or lyrics. It all comes naturally. That's what I feel. But how much effort is actually put into it? How much energy goes into it to make sure that it's something which you challenged?
Well, I think we again, not trying to mystify it too much, but I think the only thing we have to do is to get lost in the whole process.
Yeah.
When we truly, open up our souls and just write what comes out, then we know it's gonna work.
Right.
We actually most of us do write music for other bands, and we can do other kind of stuff. We can do pop music if we want,
Right.
but for Moonsorrow, it's always clear that we're gonna do music that is deeply spiritual, and it doesn't have to be challenging for the listener, but usually it turns out that it is.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys have always this great vibe of exploring, but also staying true to your roots. Now, I would basically say you guys love to write simple, engaging material in a way that you're basically exploring the complete potential of songwriting, which is really excellent. Not many bands have to write something simple, but have a lot of meaning behind it. So I'm sure you guys would have applied the same on this album as well.
Uh, yeah, we were some of the starting points were actually really simple because sometimes we might just have one riff or one melody, and we know that we're gonna build the song around this. But then we start exploring with endless options for the arrangement, and that takes a lot of time. And in the end, we do have a song that is actually very complicated in a way. Especially when you play it live, there is so much to remember.
Right. I can totally imagine that. And which song for you on this album was like the most challenging one, where you felt that you guys just gave your everything double, thrice, than your normal effort?
I would probably have to say it's the second track on the album because in 2014, might have been June or something, Henry came up with the riff, the main riff of the song. And we knew that, okay, we're gonna build a song around this one riff. And that was the second last song we actually got finished. So it took a year and a half to complete that one song. And every time when we went to Henry's home studio to make some more music, one of the first things we listened to was this one riff. And this actually resulted to Henry's children starting to hum that riff. They already know it, and they're really young. So we probably spent too much time with that one song.
Wow, man, it's a 15-minute, 21-second piece. It's called, I think, Rutoleto, right?
Ruttolehto, yeah.
Rutoleto, yeah. Wow, so I'm glad that it is a lot of energy, because just 5 tracks, I mean, and obviously you have 2 bonus tracks, but just 5 tracks reflecting what you guys have written, a material more than, I think it's close to 1 hour. So it is definitely going to be a journey for the fans, which in fact reflects on the cover art that you guys have released. It's always been like that. You guys are pretty different in terms of cover art from album to album. It always changes. I feel like you don't exactly have let's say a pattern or maybe a consistent style which you follow, but it's something which comes up naturally in case.
Yeah, it's because we always want to make an album that is different from the previous one musically. And we always want to have a cover that fits the music and the stories. And we actually didn't plan it, but at some point we realized that we have actually used a different cover artist for every album.
Right.
So now I guess it kind of became a tradition that we're always going to ask someone new to come up with new ideas.
New ideas. Good, man. That's amazing. And you chose Rotting Christ, Non Serviam, and also Grave as the bonus tracks. Rotting Christ, because I can understand that your earlier roots come from in the black metal sound, but also Grave. I mean, what actually made you choose these 2 songs, specifically Non Serviam?
I would say that both of these songs and the albums where the songs are taken from were a big influence on just a personal level to all of us before we even had a band called Moonsorrow. And yes, also Grave, because we do have a lot of death metal liking.
Yeah.
In our band, like on a personal level, you can't hear it in the music that much, but I think all of us also listen to death metal.
Right.
And we have disputes about which one is better, Swedish or American death metal.
Yeah.
And that's where we have differences, but we all enjoy that music.
Like you said, the China tour is coming up in 10 days. And after that, what's the plan? Is Moonsorrow going to start a European tour? Are there any festivals planned this year?
We have a European tour following the release of the album with our fellow folk metaler Skorpiklaani, a different band, but I would say it's the other side of the coin.
Yeah, true.
We're gonna have a tour with them, and then we're gonna have some summer festivals. And what's gonna happen later this year is not actually planned yet.
Okay.
We leave it to the wise people around the band, like management, booking agency, people like that. They make the decisions.
Well, wonderful, Ville. How about you conclude the interview by let's say, describing the sound of Jumalten Aika in a sentence?
In a sentence, well,
Yes.
it is the sound from the age of God.
It's a sound from the age of God.
That's one sentence.
Wonderful, man. Thanks a lot for having a chat. I wish you all the best for the release, for your shows in China and the upcoming tour. We'll definitely catch you in Europe when you are touring with Korpiklani, and all the best, man. Thanks a lot for spending some time.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity, and all the best for you as well.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All
Have
right,
a great
thank
evening.
you. You too. Bye.